Hello, everyone. It's Tim from SpaceNetTV. I do apologize for this, but we need to have a chat about the Marvels. Don't worry, I won't be reviewing the film. If you've seen it, you know, and if not, just don't. Nearly everyone thought the Marvels would underperform, but damn, no one expected it to be the absolute worst performance in the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, earning just a ridiculous $46 million total for the entire opening weekend. That's including the preview day. And if you thought that was bad, in only its second weekend, it cemented itself as the biggest box office failure the MCU has ever suffered, struggling to scrape together just $10 million in that second weekend. That represents a decline of 77% in a single week. This is, without a doubt, a catastrophic disaster for Disney Marvel. Now, all movies will experience a significant drop off the second week. It's especially true of blockbusters where a lot of people are clamoring to get in to see it in the opening weekend. A 40 to 60% drop is not a concerning number or all that unusual if your opening weekend was strong. The Marvel's opening weekend was anything but strong. Internally, we all knew that the Marvels was going to be weak, but no one anticipated exactly how bad it would turn out to be. Executive management at both Marvel and Disney were hoping the Marvel brand and the help of the Access media would drag it along. Sure, it was going to lose money, but they were certain it wasn't going to be a colossal embarrassment. They had too much invested in riding on it. The entire culmination of their girl branding of Marvel depended on it performing well. However, clearly the Marvels and Captain Marvel specifically, demoted in our own sequel, have been utterly rejected by audiences. The Marvels will likely finish as the first MCU film in the history not to cross the $100 million mark in its entire domestic run. That's unheard of. Worse than The Flash, worse than Morbius, worse than Dark Phoenix. It is realistically possible that the Marvels won't even reach 300 million worldwide because the overseas box offices are not performing any better than they are domestically. That would represent nearly a $500 million loss for Disney, wiping out the entire profit the Walt Disney Company reported last quarter. So who's responsible for this loss? Certainly Iman Vellani, the 21-year-old actor making her big screen debut reprising her role as Kamala Khan from a failed Disney Plus series, Miss Marvel. In an interview with Yahoo Entertainment following the movie's disastrous opening weekend, Vellani said that the Marvel's flopping is an issue for Disney CEO Bob Iger and not her. Sure, why not? I'm sure her check cleared properly. Why take any responsibility yourself for your performance or the performance of the product that you're in? Now, admittedly, Vellani didn't deliver the most offensive performance in the Marvels, but why stand up and take some responsibility yourself rather than just flippantly blowing it off on everyone else? Who else didn't take responsibility? The film's director, Nia DaCostia, who in an interview with Vanity Fair blames the failure on, wait for it, homophobia, racism, and misogyny. It really wouldn't be a Disney product if someone didn't pull out the race and identity card. DaCostia, however, didn't mention her own inexperience and incompetence having been handed a $300 million production when her largest credit to date was a low-budget remake of a horror film. But why admit your own shortcomings when you can just blame it all on the ists and phobes? DaCosta should never have been at the helm of this movie, but she did check a whole lot of boxes, and that seems to be very important these days. So who then is ultimately responsible for this box office disaster? You are. All of you who checked out of the MCU due to its left turn into intersectional feminism and identity politics. Feel free to take a victory lap and pat yourselves on the back. This is a real win in the culture war, a win for geekdom, a win for audiences who are tired of being force-fed ideology and political messaging, tired of being called ists and phobes when these terrible products fail. Your failures to produce an entertaining story are not on us. They're on you, Disney Marvel. It's on you for forgetting about your paying customers and delivering them with products they don't want and will not support. The paying customer doesn't need to give a shit what Disney Marvel thinks about politics or what they want to try to ram down our throats. It's up to Disney Marvel to figure out what their customers want and will pay for. Clearly, they don't want to do this. You all would be well advised to learn this lesson from the failure, but I don't hold out much hope of that happening. I never gained any traction internally trying to make this argument with him. I don't see any reason why they won't find some way to cope with this disaster and pretend like it's not a big deal and move on to the next product, and everything will be just fine. We'll be right back on track. The next product will save Disney, just as it saved Star Wars, just as it saved Pixar. You know what? The saviors are gone, and so are your audiences. Somehow, I'm sure Iger and Feige and a handful of other executives I no longer have to associate with will no doubt find the copium to shrug this off and blame you for being a bad audience, for being toxic, and being the big problem. Disney seems really hell-bent on self-destruction. It's unlikely to drastically change course, so it's up to all of us to teach this lesson again and again and again until it sinks in. The worst thing that can happen to any consumer product, and especially in the cinema business, is apathy. When you are angry at a product, at least you're still engaged with it and caring. When apathy sets in, you just don't give a shit anymore. And no matter what they serve up, it will take them a long time to regain that kind of loyalty that the brand once had, if they can get it back at all. Anyway, that's all I have for now. I thank you for listening. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification button. You do take care. I'll be back with another video real soon. Bye for now.